Okay, everyone, it's Friday again. So we got some new leaks. Well, it's not actually new, completely new leaks, but instead we're deep diving into one of Simon earlier leak that he did on Monday, which is the character Merlin. So we're gonna deep dive into the creative process of creating Merlin for the game. So first up, we can start with the mood board. The mood board is what the team use to kind of assess what's interesting, what's been already done, to get a feel of where we're going with the character. So basically, the goal of a mood board is usually to say what's already been done, what do we like, what do we don't like, so that the character makes sense for the game. So, for example, some inspiration of Merlin in movies or other games to showcase, well, what's the typical Merlin that everybody kind of know, because at one point when we see a character in a game, we're almost always thinking of, well, I've seen him in this movie, in that TV series, in this other game. So if it goes completely different than what you expect, oftentimes it feels weird because you're feeling like, well, that's not what I know as a character. And you don't want to be a complete replica of something that's already been done, because then you're saying, well, nah, they just copied that. So you want something similar and different at the same time. So having the inspiration of what's already been done really helps to showcase, well, that's the vibe where we're going, but that's not what we exactly want to do. So here we can see some details for weapons that they use for inspiration. We also seen some inspiration for, like, example, the Diablo horse that I can see. So things that are cool in other games, and some other fabrics or things that you can get inspiration from. And as I said, like, Merlin is a mage, so you're looking in different games from what usually people think of when they think mage. So you can see, like, Padraig in Raid, you can see Assassin's Creed Valhalla mages, you can see Diablo mages. So different games, different genre of mage, all stacked together to say, well, we like this from that game, we like this from that version of Merlin, we like that as a representation of a mage. So all those kind of inspiration to kind of mix and match what we usually want. So most mages will have some kind of staff. So, okay, what's the kind of staff they have? So for the exploration of Merlin, they went with two basic design, and they were really wanting to go with heterochromia to reflect the way that he was son of an incubus and a human woman. So they went with either a more green leaf type and one more of a blue mystic one. And then you can see all the fine details. So, like the belt, all that we want on the belt, the front view, the back view, the side view, to showcase, well, how large do we want Merlin? How do we want feature to be showcased? So, like, on the side, the different scrolls, the little vase where some liquid seems to be in, the different pouch, the dagger under the belt, the long beard, all the different little details that when you look quickly you don't necessarily see them, but as you look more and more and more, you see more and more details. For example, the staff. If you look quickly, you might not notice the frog on the staff, the kind of dragon wing type of end of the staff. So all those little different elements that are really popping once you kind of really take time to look at the stuff. It both gives a complete feel to the design, but it also means that each time that you look at the character, you kind of, oh, I didn't see that last time. And as Simon said in his last video, they really pushed the back view, because most of those games, their front view is kind of gorgeous. Really, you pull the champion and you're like, wow, that's such a good looking champion. But you spend like 99% of the game looking at the back view of the champion. Unless you're fighting it, you're almost always looking at either the back or the side view. So those views are actually super important for the general feel of the game, because just looking in the front view, if the back view feel dull and all people look like a little bit the same from the back, then the game is gonna feel dull very quickly. So all those elements in the front are great, but it's also how they put some good elements in the back that's interesting, because that's what you're gonna see. Most characters you see their back view and a little bit of the side view with the new camera angle they're going, but it's basically the back view that you're gonna see. So having that motif on the back, the pouch, all those things, the little vials, it's gonna make the back view interesting too, because that's what we're gonna see at the end of the day. So that's what they went for as a I'm gonna say final design for Merlin, but as you all know, it's still work in progress. So it's the final design of the 2D concept, but then after that they go to the 3D concept, and once it's in 3D, sometimes, well, that felt good in 2D, but it doesn't translate well in 3D, so there's still many things that can be changed before the final design, but that should give the overall look of what Merlin is gonna look in the game. I really love that Merlin design that is kind of the wizard mixed with the forest wizard type of wizard, not just the plain robes, and very I'm gonna say chic. It's really like forest wizard type of vibe, which is clearly something that's really cool for the Merlin design. And they really want to push the son of an incubus mixed, so not just the human but also part of the incubus in the design, and that's really fun. It's different from most Merlin that are just a human with a robe and a staff, very plain, very bland. So this design of Merlin is really interesting, and there's so many little details that you can see. The book on the side, the purple book, the belt with the dagger, the branch on the side with almost like the spider, I want to say. But again, it's a lot of little details that are really gonna pop once it's gonna be on 3D. So now we can see the concept from the front view, the back view, and the staff also, with the crystal on the bottom, the dragon wing, the toad that's kind of sitting there. Really fun. And the book also that we're gonna see during the animations for the, because it's a mage, so he's gonna have some casting animations. So the blue book with the feathers is probably gonna be a big part of those animations. So having that is really cool. So overall, we get a really cool design for Merlin, and it really shows all the little details that go into creating such a design. It's not just, okay, well, we got Merlin, we get white dude, long beard, blue cloak, that's it. There's so much refinement and little details on the robes, kind of the mist feel of the lower part of the robes, the belt, how the belt clash with the robe's color. Everything is kind of thought, because once it's finished, it seems really great, but all the process to make it look great implies making all those little details and all those little choices of colors, of do we put feathers on both shoulders or only on one? All those little details, at the end, it's what really makes a character complete, but it's all those little details that build that character to eventually be complete. So overall, I think that Merlin concept is great. It's gonna be a fantastic character, and I cannot wait to have it on my teams. So again, thanks for watching, and hope to see you as soon as Simon leaks new things. Take care.